Hey guys, welcome back and thanks for tuning in again. It's Vlog Thursday, it's the Late Boy Scout, and this is a product preview. I call it a product preview rather than a review because I like to give some thorough testing to things that I review. A preview is something that I familiarize myself with and I see the value in it for sure, and I'm ready to present it just for its value alone. But extensive use? No, not so much. That's alright though. In this case, the cost of this item is so low that I don't think a long-term review is necessary. I just need to get this out there and let you guys know about it. What we're talking about today is the Vanquest MOHL-Air and also the MOHL-Web. These are two products new from Vanquest, each one costing around $9. Okay, ridiculously cheap, inexpensive stuff, but so useful, solves so many problems. And we're going to get into that a little bit in this product preview. So to begin with, I want to talk about kind of why this is going to be a useful thing and what you can use it with. Now you see this here, my Vanquest Falconer 27. This is my bug out bag that is still packed, still on full-time bug out bag duty. I'm not unpacking it, going to use it for anything else anytime soon. That may happen in the future at some point, and you know, down the road we'll get like a full multi-year use review on it or something. I don't know. But the point is, this is still serving as my bug out bag. And I wanted to kind of talk about how you can use the MOHL-Web or the MOHL-Air in conjunction with something like a bug out bag or a wide variety of other things. So why is this going to be a useful tool? It essentially does this. Well, as it says right here, ultra lightweight MOHL onto hook and loop adapter by Vanquest. And you can pretty much see how that works just by looking at it. This is a very kind of a versatile plate right here that allows you to run webbing through in any direction or amount that you need to. So you can run lengths of 3 webs there or lengths of 2, depending on what you're trying to attach and what the situation is. And it's obviously, well, might as well look at the product itself rather than the card. It is a hook on one side. You can see that right there, and loop on the other. Okay, and it comes with these little panels right here, these little attachment panels, which are in a very nicely contrasting color, I must say. You know, they do this in the, I think it's the wolf gray or foliage gray or something like that. Foliage gray color on top of their khaki, it looks like, or coyote. That's just such a cool looking combination, number one. They don't need to do that at all. They could just use the exact same color, but they're like, hey, might as well make it contrast a little bit and look a little bit cooler, which it does. But essentially what you've done is you rip these off. That's how they come from the factory. And then when you're ready to attach this to either the sort of the MOHL side of something, then you would stick it on like that and use these to kind of loop through these little MOHL attachments here, and they would kind of loop around and attach back onto themselves just like this. All right, and that would hold it onto those sort of horizontal MOHL loops, okay? So once you've done that, now you've got a plate here that will accept any hook side anything. So it could be a patch, it could be a pouch of some kind that is hook side, it could be anything. It could be another set of the MOHL-Air, and in this case, that's kind of what one of the things that I think is so valuable for. You could actually take this right here. This is actually a pre-packaged first aid kit, individual first aid kit I bought a couple of years ago, made by, I want to say, Voodoo Tactical. And it'll sit on an LBE, or I'll take it shooting with me or something like that. But in any case, you know, I'll have to sort of, if I want to thread this onto an LBE or something, now I've got to try to get access to all that, you know, all that first aid equipment to sort of deal with an injury, if I ever had one, while this is attached to my vest or whatever else it might be. And that could be really cumbersome. You know, if I'm trying to reach around and find it, and I'm going to try to keep this thing out of the way for the most part because it's not one of my main use items perhaps. But then I try to get to it and now it's really hard to reach. So it would be great if I could just tear this whole pouch off and have it available to just sit in front of me and open up and deal with how I need to. That would be so much easier. And with something like the MOHL-Air, you can do that. So you would take a pouch or a panel like this and a panel like that. You attach this panel onto the pouch, so now the entire back is all Velcro hook. And then you take this and attach it to the LBE. Now that entire panel is all Velcro loop. And then you just slap them together and hit the tripod while you're doing it. And then maybe you attach some sort of a little, something on here that makes it easier to sort of separate those. And then when you pull them apart, you just pull the whole thing off. And a couple of those things stuck on there. It doesn't really matter in this case. You pull the whole thing off, and now you've got access to your first aid kit for complete, total control of it and ease of use in finding every little last item that's in there. That's one of the biggest ways that I find the MOHL-Air to be a very useful product, is turning something that might be difficult to get full access to into something that's going to be really easy to get quick and complete access to. So that's number one. On top of that, it helps you organize things. So this right here is, again, the MOHL-Air panel. Let's say you want to mount some magazine pouches or something to the inside of a bag. Maybe you have a concealed carry area inside your bag. And I'm going to go through a bunch of products that are non-Vanquest branded as well. Let's see. Here's a, you guys are familiar with this one. There's a Maxpedition bag. Okay, I've taken this from the SHOT Show. I've used it for a whole lot of things. And I've talked about how it's good for concealed carry. This little compartment right here can be used for that. Okay, it can also be used for your for water and stuff, some other things. But it's got some Velcro hook or loop, I should say, on the inside here. And what I can do with that is I can actually set that MOHL-Air down in there with perhaps some magazine pouches attached or something like that, some MOHL magazine pouches, and I've converted those now to hook and loop. And I can stick them down in there, and then I've got full access to them. So whatever my situation is, I can get, I can get the things organized that I want to have organized. And whatever the bag is that I have, again, it doesn't matter if it's Vanquest branded, because this is such a universal thing. It works with hook and loop, and it works with MOHL, which are present on so many different bags and things these days. You can use it with just about anything. That's the real value in this. It's so versatile. Even something like this right here, this is the pre-packaged Flash Packs bug out bag that I'm still going to do a review on. You will be seeing this one in action and opened up completely and reviewed. But you could easily stick this on the outside of that and have, well, you've already got a little bit of MOHL on there, as you can tell. But if you want to have a quick detach kind of a MOHL thing, perhaps like, once again, the IFAK, right? You can sit that on there, and you've got an IFAK on the back of this pack that you can rip right off and hand off to somebody or get access to yourself without necessarily having to reach into your bag and fish out. Very, very cool. Very, very cool. I love that option, the ability that you have to do that. Now, there's one suggestion in relation to the MOHL-Air and the MOHL-Web that I haven't heard from others yet that I think is actually a really valid way to use them, and that is to cut them up. Cut them up and use them for smaller sections, smaller areas. They come in this 5x7 sheet. There's no reason you can't turn that into a 5x3.5 or whatever it needs to be in order to suit your exact needs. And at only $9 or so per sheet, I would not feel bad about cutting these up at all. As you guys know, the sort of shot cord webbing is just great for odd-sized items that you wouldn't necessarily fit or be able to fit in certain pockets. Maybe it's a jacket, maybe it could be, I don't know what it is, but any number of things you could fit into these to have that sort of mounted and set into kind of an organized fashion within the bag, and again mounted onto a nice hook and loop backing there. And of course, because of the fact that this MOHL-Web has been drilled out, looks like laser cut perhaps, all throughout in this big grid pattern, you can take this cord out and rearrange it however you want it to be. You could have it this way and just have one big crisscross going across like that, a zigzag or something, and get some really big item attached to that. And again, if you ever needed to, you can tear that off and get the whole piece sent on its way. Or, you just added that usability to the outside or the inside of a pack that you didn't have before. So definitely some really cool usability to both the MOHL-Air and the MOHL-Web from Vanquest. Again, they come in at what, $9? So this is hardly something that I need to spend, you know, several months trying out and testing before I can tell you guys that it's a great product. I can tell you right now, this is something you ought to look at and pick up for some of your organizational needs, whether it be in a Vanquest or any other type of pack, MOHL gear, LBE gear, whatever. Get a hold of several of these and find ways to make your gear a little easier to access and easier to organize. I'm a late Boy Scout. This has been a Vlog Thursday product preview. We'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching.